The DISS!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first ever. Is it really the first ever?
It might be, or maybe we fucked up the first one, and this is the number
This
two.
is take two. This is the first official ever DISS podcast.
Where are we? Caradizzle.
We're in a secret bunker location in Carrington.
Caradice Sizzle.
Caradice C.
Yes.
C10.
And we're going to just do a bit of just a guy chat. Just three guys sitting down talking current events, news, sport, weather.
Yeah,
Everything, but just in a real nature. This is the podcast that you never knew you wanted, but you needed.
You need it.
It's like that drug you haven't had yet, but when you do, you know you're going to be hooked.
Exactly. So let's do some intros to get up to speed with who is on the podcast. Let's go right down the end.
Hello. What do you want to know?
Name would be.
So my name is Michael, guys, aka known as Mr. Find a Way. I'm a 27-year-old Tongan
Oh,
male.
we don't have to talk about
we don't do
age, bruh. Because I'm not telling you my age.
Islander, born in New Zealand. Come here when I was youngin', 9 years old. Currently loving it, trying to get my citizenship ASAP. But that's a different story.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, it might be a story we might revert back to in very, very shortly in the first couple of rounds of questions. So don't tell us too much about yourself.
That's going to be some effort to get.
Yeah, so it's Michael, Mr. Funaway, that's me.
My name is Tim, and that's all.
Shakespeare.
And I am a Caradice local. I am a health and business enthusiast. Grew up in Lorne. I've got a twin brother.
Where is
dog. Two. Huh?
Where is Lorne?
Towards Maitland.
Ew.
Lorne's not bad. Maitland's a bit second hand, but grew up in Lorne. I've got two daughters and a wife and a dog. And I live very close to where we are currently filming. But you don't need to know that.
Yeah, don't do the address because we don't want people,
we
haters
don't
and
want
lovers.
Like the Beatles when they first flew to Australia.
All right, and lucky last, my name is Bo, or Cheesebergs. I am
Cheesy Dick.
Cheesy Dick. That's not a good thing to be. It's not a good thing to be cheesy. I didn't think about that till right now. I am the. I guess I would be the producer, creative on this particular venture. I enjoy streaming. I'm a bit of a nerd. Anything technology, and that's about it. That's me in a nutshell. But more about me later on. All right, now that we've got the formalities kind of out of the way, we're just going to shoot the shit, maybe find out a little bit more about each other, so through a series of questions. So I'm just going to toss out the first question that I have here. I'm going to go, let's change it up. Let's go Tim this time. Tim, can you tell us a little bit about you growing up as a child, some favourite memories or something like that?
Favourite memories? As a child growing up in Lorne, I remember skating a lot. We used to be on our skates a fair bit. There's not a lot of good detail from my childhood because from a very early age, I'd say 14, 15 years, there was quite a lot of alcohol consumed. And so memories are quite fuzzy. I remember, it was the typical childhood. You go out and you come home when the street lights come on and you just go hard the whole time and be exhausted at the end of the day and then tuck yourself into bed, do the same thing on repeat the next day. It wasn't like, I feel like it was a lot different to nowadays because it was just like roam the streets and then come back in, and now it's like roam the streets, pandemic, pedophiles.
Yep.
It's like
heaps
scary.
more things to be done.
Crazy
I don't
up
know.
in these
But one story that I remember from childhood vividly, right? You remember Josh, our mate?
The nose?
Yes.
Right?
The nose. Our mate, now this sounds insane, right? This story, right? We had this mate who was a bit of a storyteller. He used to lie a lot, and so you never knew what was quite factual and what wasn't factual. And we used to skate down to the Maitland half pipe, this rickety old half pipe. It was like built like a 50-cent piece. And he comes down skating one day and he goes, "Oi, there's this bloke that comes down here,
Oh.
and he pays me to stomp on his hands.
What?
And we were just like,
What the fuck is that? Pay me, bro.
I'll take that money. He says, but we're just like, Josh, shut the fuck up. It's just another one of your lines. Da, da, da. He's like, no, it's true. Anyway, this went on for a while, and then one day we're skating down there, and the guy is up on the hill. There's like a little picnic bench up on the hill. Were you there that day?
Nah.
Well, his little picnic bench up on the hill, and he's sitting up there, and he's sort of just waiting for Josh to acknowledge him. And Josh goes, oh, that's that guy. And we're like, bullshit.
And then-
he goes up, what?
And then, so he probably knew that it was Josh by the way he waved at him. It's me!
Hang on, yeah. No, Josh didn't have the crippled hands. The other guy had.
Yeah, the guy was
I thought you were saying Josh had crippled hands, right? So he says, that's the guy. He's like, he's here now, and I'm going to go and get paid, right? I'm going to go get some cash. So he goes up, and where the half pipe is in Maitland, there's a half pipe, then there's a massive field, you know, the field,
I know.
and then there's a big shipping container, I think still there, right? And it was just like a big
Yeah, it is
where
still
they kept
there.
all the
They
gear,
put-
or whatever,
they
right?
Put javelins and
So he
shot
goes
puts
and
and shit
meets
in
this
there.
bloke, and they walk off together, and we're like, shit, someone's going down. I don't know if it's what he said he's going to go down, but something's going down.
Yeah.
They walk, they go behind this thing. So me and the other boys, we're like, skates off, we're creeping up to this thing. We're like on the other side. And as we get closer, we just hear this,
No, he was
this
doing
bumps.
it.
We turn around, the guy's got both his hands down this. Now, Josh was wearing those shoes, soaps, right? These are the shoes
are they?
that first come out, those shoes that had a plastic thing in the middle of the shoes so you could grind rails. So you could walk up to a rail and
They were
jump on and
just
slide
skate
down,
shoes,
right?
but they had...
So they made maximum
Yeah,
bloody damage when they stomp on someone's fingers. Anyway, the guy's down there, both hands. Josh is just laying into it.
No way.
Just bang, bang.
So it's true.
The guy's forking out 50s. And then the guy, the guy goes, you want to do any more? And he goes, yeah, I'll do it more. He just goes down there again. Oh, bam, bam, bam. More 50s, like this. So it's like, if you, and I think back to that and it's like, that seems so crazy when he told us, and I thought, you're a liar for sure. There's no way that's happening. Then it happened, and I saw it with my own eyes. Now I think, if you think that there aren't 6 suckers in this world willing to bloody manipulate and damage people for their own sick pleasure, you're kidding yourself. This guy was handing out 50 after 50 after 50
He probably
just to
wasn't-
get stomped
still
on.
wasn't
alive.
hand-
I didn't take his details down.
still
Said,
alive, I wanna
"Right,
find
we
him."
should catch up afterwards for some tea. And I was like, let's get the hell out of here. Take that cash. We are. Anyway, that's one memory that sticks out of my mind from my childhood.
Well, that
Now we should probably switch.
yeah, let's slide. I don't know, maybe to a happy memory. I don't know.
Pretty crazy.
Michael, hit us with a childhood memory. Look, maybe something. It doesn't have to be deep, dark, perverted. Just something you remember that you enjoyed from your childhood. Friends,
You
family.
say enjoyed.
Giant
Hey.
Far out. Jeez, I just need to rewind a bit. Fuck. Childhood. I vaguely remember this shit, really.
Same. I think we've all,
Literally,
to
like-
some point, just our memories are getting.
I don't remember what I done yesterday.
That's why I don't like. You know, old people. They're like, oh no, I remember it. It was
How the fuck
July
you remember
4th,
for you?
1960. Like,
I
what are you
literally don't-
talking about? I don't remember Tuesday. It's Thursday now.
Yeah, like, I don't remember too much.
You got
Just me and my brother fighting.
You got in
Yeah.
a bit of trouble.
Me and my brother fighting as a youngin'. Just fighting over Pokemon cards and shit. Oh, one story. I got one story.
Here we go.
One story, just the last one. One story. So I was at school. I'd steal the Pokemon cards from my mates. Don't worry about that. I'd bring them home.
Do you know they're worth a lot of money now too, bro?
Yeah, so back in the school, a bit of that. I'd bring them home. Me and my brother would fight over it and stuff. This was when we first moved here in Margaret Street, Mayfield. I'll never forget it. We came home. Me and my brother were arguing over Pokemon cards. You know, it's like, it's mine. It's like, I stole it. They're mine. They're mine.
I stole it. It's my property.
And then he wanted them. And then we had a big fight. You know. And then my mum came in. Gave him the biggest hiding, like I've never seen nothing like it. Like, his back had welts on it, you know. As a younger brother, that's just all my childhood was just me and my
But
brother.
that's back in the day. Back
That's
in the
like-
day, you used to be able to like,
Yeah,
give
you
them
hiding,
kills,
yeah.
well, bam. But now, and that's why I think
Can't
kids
even
used to be
look
a
at
bit
someone
more
these days.
respectful, right?
Yeah.
It used to be a bit more respectful back in the day because there was the real
There's
threat of
consequence.
violence.
Yeah.
The real
Consequence.
threat of violence.
Well,
Now,
now
you've got a real threat of a lawsuit if you look at a kid the wrong way. Not that way. Like,
Yeah.
you want to, like, hurt them.
Yeah, it's...
Not hurt, you know. Beep,
know what
that
you
bit out.
But yeah, not too much good shit anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll keep that for later.
Yeah.
This one. Can I tell one more story? Because this is one that I tell in the practice quite a bit. This is a story that I remember when
Do
I
a
went
short
to
version.
right.
Good.
I went to school in Queensland. Right, I went to school in Queensland, grade 1 and grade 2, maybe.
Yeah.
And this was when they were just phasing out the cane. Right, so they used
Fuck,
to
so you went to school then?
Yeah, bro. I don't talk about that.
Seen the video of us going to school, we slide down the back of the dinosaur.
Like that.
No, that was the Jetsons.
Yeah, what?
So they were just phasing out the cane, but they had another thing of corporal sort of punishment for children who were stepping out of line. They were called the pest pegs. No, yeah, teacher will give you 50s. You were stomp on her hands. They had the pest pegs, right? And so if you mucked up in class, you had to sit out in the hallway, and they put clothes pegs on all your skin. So you just sat there with pegs all over your skin, looking like a peg peg.
That's how Jenny Craig started.
And they were called the pest pegs. And so there was this one kid that was always out there, and he'd just sit out there, and he just thought it was great. So he'd sit out there and get a bit of attention, had these pegs flying off all over. If you did that today, that teacher would be in jail straight away.
Jail for
It was
abuse.
like, we're not even
Child
doing a
abuse.
trial, just go to your cell.
That is some weird and unusual shit.
That's weird.
I'll remember the weird things.
Yeah.
That's
What
80s
about you?
babies.
You have a childhood?
Yeah, I had a childhood.
You have a childhood.
There was a lot of childhooding in front of the TV, but one memory that sticks out while we're talking about childhood memories. Growing up in Waratah, me and my cousin, I have a vivid memory of we used to walk from the drains in Waratah that follow the train lines, from Waratah all the way basically to Newcastle.
Is this the movie Stand By Me?
No, it's not the movie Stand By Me. We didn't see any dead bodies, unfortunately, but yeah, we used to just walk those drains all the time. Knew them like the back of our hands, skateboarded, rode our bikes up there, and it's just something like... It is very, now that you've said that, very Stand By Me.
Yeah, I feel like...
It's a coming of age. Maybe all of my memories are conglomerated from just movies that I've watched over the years.
Stand By Me and Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
Y'all want to see that, buddy?
I told you not to bring that football. All right. So, well, now that we've delved back a little bit into our childhood upbringing, the next question that I want to throw out to you boys before we get into sort of some serious business questions is just quickly give me one thing that you love and one thing that you hate about Newcastle, because I guess we've all been here for a while. Let's go, Michael. One thing that you love about Newcastle, and then one thing that you hate.
Love the place, hate the people.
Okay. Very.
Do
do you know what I love?
Newcastle.
I love that you
Newcastle.
just fucking went with it.
Love Newcastle, but the people here are too small-minded.
Yeah.
Man. Like,
So compared to like other places that you've lived or stayed for a while, you just think that Newcastle has that.
just small-minded.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I haven't lived
mindset, is that what you're saying?
I haven't lived in Melbourne, but I went there.
Yeah.
And the minds are different. Like they're not like here. It's different. I don't know. I can't explain it. You should know, but it's hard to explain. Like
Melbourne is a beautiful place.
Yeah.
I've been there a couple of times myself, and I get that. Newcastle is sometimes a little bit too laid back,
like-
cool for school. Like all these
yeah,
people
it's like
are. Yeah.
judgmental. It's too judgmental.
Yeah.
But I was like that when
Yeah.
I was young. You know.
Yeah.
I finally phased out of that.
Yeah.
Just recently. So you know, that
Love.
was me.
What do you love about the place? The beaches.
I love beaches, like cafes. I just love the living. Like it's good to live. It's not like
Lifestyle.
Sydney, the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Sydney's too
Sydney's
full on. You know,
garbage,
it's-
I don't like Sydney.
Like, I like-
When they came to that thing this week, and they're like, anyone from the Hunter, don't go to Sydney. I was like, I already wrote that check, bro. I'm not going to Sydney at all, ever.
Nah,
Be lucky if I
Sydney
get off my
sucks.
couch.
Well, you don't really have to. I think Newcastle has a little bit of what you need, and then it has that country. It's a mix. It's that good
The mini
mix.
Gold Coast.
Yeah.
type thing.
It was a mini Melbourne too. Like
Yeah.
with all the cafes and stuff popping up now,
Yeah.
it's like a mini Melbourne.
Yeah.
Starting to get up
We
there.
don't have like the sporting stuff that Melbourne has, like the MCG and all
Yeah.
the sporting
Yeah.
events that Melbourne has, but you know, we've got enough to tide us over. The Knights are starting to pick up their game a bit. Which
Yeah.
Is good.
Yeah, up the Knights.
Yeah,
Yeah,
up the
boys.
Knights.
It's better for Newcastle when the Knights are winning. It's a bit
Literally.
exciting, man.
Yeah.
I almost capitulated on the weekend, mate. We'll move past. We were at the Cry. Were you there? No. We were at the Cry watching the game.
Oh.
I went to the bar to get Lozzie a drink. I came back, Rabbitoh scored 3 tries.
Literally.
Like, we went from 20-0 to
Literally.
18-20. I was just coming out, I was like,
What happened?
Right? Sister boys.
Oh, they just slacked off a little bit,
Yeah.
but got the win, got the W.
That's the main thing.
Exactly. Tim?
I like almost everything about Newcastle. I mean, and not even Newcastle, just Paradise. I love Paradise.
Yeah.
You love Paradise.
Paradise
You want to be a
is
little
only-
mayor one day.
Do they have a mayor in Paradise?
We're about to have a mayor.
What is a Newcastle? No, I love it. I love that it's small enough where everyone sort of knows everyone, but it's also big enough to keep you entertained.
Yeah.
We've got enough going on here. Cafes are my big thing. I like
Yep.
sitting in cafes. I'll eat out every meal
Just buy one
every
then.
day. Oh, no, bro. They look hectic. Right, the overheads. Just the maths behind them. I don't want to buy... work out your profit based on a $4 coffee. That's
True.
That's a lot. You got to run a lot of
Well,
coffees for
depends.
that.
Like, I see you two eating every morning in cafes. If you've got customers and clientele that are just like come in that they're going to be there that's gold.
But it's just the one-off coffees. Boom, boom, boom. No,
Yeah.
Like down the local cafe, they run out of coffee beans. Like,
I couldn't think of nothing worse than just sitting there making coffees. But
it's hard work.
It's boring.
But
as
I want to drink them.
Why
I want
don't
to spend
he-
all my time actually. I just don't want
Idea pitch. You don't do a cafe that does coffees or teas or anything. They only serve one hot beverage.
Gelatos! Yeah, boy! Yeah, buddy! And it's only open for 2 hours a day, and that's at dessert time.
Yeah.
Gelato.
Anything that you don't like about Newcastle?
No. I mean, not really. I mean, we had a little bit of a buffet culture, a little bit, but not really anymore. I think everyone's sort of embraced it. I feel like people are more positive when the sporting teams are winning,
Yep.
and they're more negative when I don't like the way that we've sort of folded with this whole pandemic thing going on. I think that's a little bit weak. I think we're stronger than that, and we've got enough going on where we could sort of make our own decisions rather than decide based off what Sydney and Melbourne are doing. But
100%.
I think
Fine down here, I think.
Yeah. We could put some fences around. It's like, all right, stay out. We're staying in. We've got enough.
Yeah.
Yep. I love Newcastle. I love summer. Summer in Newcastle is out of
the
control.
best, eh?
Literally,
It's lively.
Exactly. It feels like it pumped a lot of energy back into the city, especially like on a Sunday, going to the beach and then walking to the shops like Coles in board shorts, no shoes.
But do you think it's as good when we were kids? When you used to go down to the beach or the skate park, you go up to Newcastle Mall when Macca's was there.
Yeah, that was
and
the
Macca's
bomb.
was pumping. When Macca's
Well,
was in the
Macca's-
mall,
man.
it was like where the overpass.
You know where the bridge used to be?
Yeah.
No, Macca's was in there,
And the kitchen was
mall
downstairs,
You
man.
had to go down under. So
Oh,
you
that's
go to the
sick.
beach, it was it, and then everyone would just walk up through the mall. The mall was pumping.
Yeah.
And
Now the mall's dead as fuck.
They shut Macca's and it all just started to go like that. That was glory days.
Yeah, it was glory days.
You know nothing about that. You
Yeah.
probably weren't born. I reckon that was about 91.
92,
92
baby.
is just like, nah. There was clouds come over. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, things are going downhill now, guys.
Yeah. No, that's my. I love summer. I don't really have too many hates. I just focus on the posies, not the
I
neggies.
don't think we've got time to hate.
Yeah. No, it's a waste of time and energy. We're going to move on to another question. Favourite sporting team and why? Let's go down the end with the man in the red.
So the red, blue, and white, but not the Knights. Okay, up the Tookies. That's the team. Roosters. The only reason why, because I was a big Sonny Bill fan when he would play for the Doggies. I loved him. He was my man crush, And then he moved to the Roosters, and I went for the Roosters, and I still go for him now.
So it's funny that you say that because my housemate grabbed me on the way out and when I was writing some
grab
questions. He didn't grab me in anywhere inappropriate, but he grabbed me as I was on the way out the door and he said to me, what are you going to talk about? And I said, we might talk about sport, Bill. And he goes, what's funny you say that because Sonny Bill is coming back
Apparently.
to the Chooks.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Who said that?
He,
I'm not going to
my
get excited
housemate.
yet, but...
I just
Does
said that.
Your housemate know anything?
Yeah, he's in with the right people.
You went, you were trying to
Yeah,
find some
it's-
sort of
it's-
credentials.
He knows some shit, but
Okay.
yeah, well,
Believe
that'll
it.
be interesting. The Chooks, because like what from young or
Because
I
he loves
was a
cock.
Doggies fan when I first moved over here. So I was a Doggies fan until Sonny Bill moved over to Roosters, and that's. They actually went to rugby union and came back to the Roosters, and that's when I went for the Roosters.
Yeah, okay.
I forget the year, but then I still stuck with them.
Yeah.
Stick with them now. Back to back, baby.
All right. Little cackler in the middle that has the worst fucking laugh I've ever heard.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. Sporting teams. The Dons. The black and red. Notice can we see a red sash in here? That's not in the camera, is it? Canada Dons. I've followed the Dons since the late 80s, early 90s. AFL. Dad was in the RAF. We moved around a bit. We spent a lot of time in Melbourne growing up. And you just follow AFL in Melbourne. If you don't,
Truly,
follow,
don't
you
even know what
think
rugby league
you
is.
think like NRL's, like the thing here. No, if you go to Melbourne
You
and you
play
don't
NRL.
follow AFL,
You're a weirdo.
off. You end up in the Yarra River
In a carpet rolled up.
Way more hectic. Yeah, now and I'm starting to get into the Knights too because I really
Starting to like it.
I love the way
Knights,
Newcastle
obviously.
is when the Knights are winning.
Yeah.
And
Happy town.
I'm pro Newcastle and pro Carrington, the capital of Newcastle.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm going to say the Knights. I'm new to the Knights train though. So when I used to watch the rugby league like religiously, I'm talking like 95, I think it was. I got into the Warriors. The Auckland Warriors. Yeah, my dad took me to
Stacey Jones.
Yes.
Back in the days,
Tawira Nikau, who doesn't have, I think he lost an arm in a car accident.
Who?
Was it Tawira Nikau?
You still play?
No.
They still play.
Deadly.
Back those days, I used to follow Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs
Yeah, okay.
before they were whatever they are now.
Before they...
What are they called now?
Still the same,
Yeah,
aren't
it's just...
They're not. They're
No, they didn't
Belmore.
merge.
No,
They didn't
Bankstown.
merge with them.
Didn't they go like?
Nah,
West Tigers met Western
Well,
Sydney
yeah.
in
No, when
Melbourne.
Terry Lamb used to play, I
Yeah.
used to have underpants that were Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Anyway, go Warriors.
But started following the Warriors. My dad took me to a game, and I was just like the Stacey Jones era, and it was sick. And then sort of been a fan of the Knights for the last couple of years, and more seriously, like the last couple of years, because all my mates are behind the Knights. We go to games. It's a good vibe.
It's a cultural thing.
It is.
And when it becomes a cultural thing, it's way more fun to be a part of.
Yeah.
That's why AFL is so huge, because when you have a game on a Saturday afternoon, Melbourne lights up 7 a.m.
It's like
Everyone
Vegas.
puts on their stuff. They start going out to the cafes. They then go from the cafes to the pubs. They start drinking, have some lunch, and then they head to the MCG. It's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Whereas we just don't have that same
We lost that
cultural
culture
thing.
here. It's
with
coming
NRL.
back slowly.
It's
but
yeah.
You get 10,000 people to a game. You get
Not
two
even.
decent teams game MCG 100,000.
Literally.
So
Yeah. It begs the question, like, do people in Melbourne not have anything better to do?
Could be.
yeah, that might be it.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously, sport is a big part of who we are and our identity
Good
and our culture.
transition, bruh.
Yeah, well, it was better than leading into, look at these 4 lines on the computer.
That's
Do you know
me
what those
laughing.
are? Boom, no.
Oh,
boom,
big tapping,
boom,
is it?
boom.
Oh.
Always like, literally, I've got to
Play the
be,
piano growing up.
I
That's
need
how
to
it's
be the
supposed to
technical Nazi on this shit,
Don't
but
do it.
don't ever do that again.
I'll give you a hot tip. You would not have been able to join the Nazis, bro. I don't know if you know much about the Nazis. You weren't their favourite song.
I can adapt. I'm adaptable.
Oh, hello, Gerhard. Where would you like me to put the juice? No, just remember the mic next time, bro. That's what they say to you. Bro, where'd you put those gas chambers? Oh, shit, I left them at home.
Oh my god! We'll have to edit that bit out. But yeah, all right. Well, we moved on from sport. This is a little bit of a boogie question here, which I came up with. I already knew the answer to one person's, but we'll toss it out here. We'll go down the end. Mr. Red again. First ever car. What was the first ever car you had?
What was the first ever car that you drove?
That I drove.
And was it yours?
That I drove or that I owned.
Just do drive.
Which one?
Just do drive.
First car I ever drove. Oh,
I'm going to put sirens in the background of this story.
Bad boys.
First car was a
Was
Subaru Liberty. Subaru Liberty.
Yeah, how old were you?
13, I think. 13, 14.
So you would have had your L's then?
Yeah, just got on my L's then. Yeah, so Subaru Liberty.
Liberty.
Yeah, Liberty was the first car I drove.
Yeah.
First car I owned. Daihatsu or some bullshit. I don't know. Fuck some piece of
Just
shit.
something crap. It was
Some
way
piece of
better.
shit that was smoking out.
The ones that you acquired were way nice cars. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
My first car was a Volvo 244 GL, mission green, with roof racks, and the alternator used to break all the mother flipping time.
Think I'm
so you
gonna-
had to get a bloody like a hammer and 2 hammers and just like and hit the alternator, so I started to charge the battery again.
I'll-
You'd just be driving around.
Dude,
so,
I know. I was
you
there.
were there.
I was there. And these things, this automobile was the closest thing to a army tank that I've ever
was pretty
been
good,
next
huh?
to. How many car accidents were you in?
Was I in? I wasn't driving in any of them.
Yeah, disclaimer, wasn't
Yeah.
driving any.
There
How many
was-
car accidents were you in where the other cars were complete
Yeah.
write-offs
There was
and the
2 or
Volvo
3.
drove away?
2 or 3. One was on Belmore Road. We were about to turn right. I was in the passenger seat, and a guy had just got his new Holden bloody Camaro or something like
Yep.
this, and was flogging it down Belmore Road, and didn't see that we'd stopped to turn, and just swerved at the last little bit. Clipped us. We did a 180 into the oncoming, and then just ended up parked. Perfect. And his car just went and was written off completely,
Yeah.
and we just went, fuck, we're facing the other way.
That happened quick.
Straight away, right? Because the old Volvos had these big rubber blocks behind the bumper, so anything that hit it, it just went
Bounced it off.
and just bounced off. And then the other one was when we were in that convoy going to that party out of Brankston.
I wasn't
Remember?
there. Oh, yeah, I was there. Yeah.
And we're driving, we're in this convoy, all these guys from school, and a truck pulled out in front of this car up here, and so they slammed on the brakes. We slammed on the brakes, and the girls behind us didn't see anything. They come up over the crest full speed, hit us, smacked us into the car in front. Both cars written off. We just drove away. So that's a good car. Volvo's good cars.
Yeah.
I mean,
They
they
are.
used to be. I don't know if they make them more swanky and like crumple now, but they used to just hold their shape. They're like that. The what is it? The Jello from the can. Just holds its shape and just quivers a little bit.
I just thought of spam
Yeah.
for some reason. Just
Crank
I'm
on.
going to touch quickly on another Volvo story because I have fond memories of that story. Do you remember there was a roundabout in Curry that Volvo could not go around?
What do you mean?
So-
Why couldn't it go around it?
Well, we would drive around. It was out near Damo Martin's house, so we drive around it, and then the Volvo would just spin off the road. It happened every time we.
Oh, because it was dirt or something, was it?
Well, yeah, and like seemed to always be driving out there when it was wet, and one used to be driving the car, and then the car would be sideways. Spinning
Done it
there.
again, guys.
Yeah, I have fond memories of that car. I kind of learned how to drive in that car.
Well, I mean, a lot of our mates did because no one else could drive yet.
Yeah.
So we were just like shipping everyone around. The first thing you do as soon as you get back then it was just yellow L's, red peas, blacks. That's all it was.
Yeah.
And as soon as you got your red peas, straight to Macca's drive-through. That's all you did.
Yeah.
Get your own Macca's.
My first ever car was a silver. I don't know if you remember. It was a silver Ford Meteor. It was terrible. I think my parents bought it for $1,800, and it didn't have a CD player. But I bought a tape adapter that you plugged into the tape deck that led out to the Discman that I used to
I
run.
remember those
I think
things.
a lot of cars didn't have CD
Yeah.
players back then, but
Yeah.
I don't know if we.
It was.
I don't
Hey,
even know if we had a tape deck in the Volvo. It was a 74 or something.
Yeah.
78.
no. But yeah, I think mine was a Ford. It was a piece of crap, but I used to drive to Newcastle. I went through a period of like 6 months when I got my license where I didn't drink at all, and I just used to drive.
Remember jumping in Damo Martin's Sigma?
That white
That
one.
little thing?
Was it white?
And he'd always be like, it'd always have like $4 worth of fuel in it, just run on fumes. But we'd hop in it and he would flog it down here. We'd get down to Newcastle in 10 minutes from Maitland because he'd just be hoofing it the whole way. And it was just full of his shit, his dirty clothes. We'd get in there, we'd come out to play Great Northern.
Crushed up Macca's cups from like 1982. It was a real piece of shit.
You
But
could get
yeah.
him to do anything though for some petty money.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like, go kill that man. We'll give you $5 petty money. How you want me to kill him?
One time for his birthday, we were on our way to his birthday to his party, and I forgot to get him a gift, and I just bought a new bong, this white porcelain bong. It had a dragon on the outside of it. So when we got there, I was like, "Fuck, I don't have anything to give him." So I gave him this bong. He's like, "Oh, that was rad." Fuck, I just bought that bong.
I remember one time he gave me a bottle of cooking Contro for me. Because he was working, this is when he was working in one of the kitchens in town, and he was smoking a lot. And he forgot that it was our birthday, and he was coming back through. He gives us this. It was like
Not 87%. Yeah.
thing. And the chef that he took it off said, "Don't let them drink it." And he gave it to me as a birthday present. It was that bad. But do you remember when that was during his time? He was so cooked at work one time. He got a 10-kilo bag of flour and just poured it all in the bin. they're like, what the fuck
are you doing?
And he's just like, huh? Oh.
Oh, first cars.
Happy
Hell
times.
of a ride.
ride.
I did skip a question at the top, and I don't know why, because it's probably one of the most important questions here. But we're going to go back to this question. Very, very interesting for the podcast, and it's probably going to launch a lot of our future guests into what we're going to talk about right now. But it was, tell us about your business and how it started. So, who wants to kick it off? Tim, do you want to kick it off? Michael's his business is real fresh, and mine's even realer fresh than that. So maybe go to Mac Daddy, the one that started it.
Well,
you don't have to tell us what your business is, or if you don't.
Okay, one of my current
Ventures.
my sort of first and main business. I was
Baby
working
cakes.
for another.
It's the dildo selves.
I'm a tester.
Yourself.
Yeah, so that was the joke. I was working for a firm in Newcastle, and I was being geared up to be a partner of that firm, and then I just started having questions about, always working for someone else and not creating my own legacy or future. I started thinking about having kids and wanting them to say, that's daddy's business and be a good example for them growing up, knowing that, you don't have to just work a job, you can create your own thing and make your own hours and lifestyle and all that sort of thing. So I started the business in Carrington, which is a health related business. And it's been kicking ass for 6 years now. We're on the main street. We've got a house in Carrington. We've got this place in Carrington. It's like best thing we ever did.
If so, now you've got a successful business that's been going for a few years now. Is there anything now that you would do if you could go back and be like, I probably would have done this differently, I would have started this? What is there anything you can?
Yeah.
Okay. Hit us.
When I started
some advice.
when I started the business, I had to get somebody to overlook the contract that I currently had with the previous business, and they gave me very poor advice.
Okay.
So my advice would be, which cost me large amounts of money. My advice for anyone starting a business is choose your advisors wisely and get multiple opinions before you act. Because a lot of people are very confident about their knowledge and opinion, and it's not always accurate in their knowledge or their confidence. So look for your advisors, get multiple opinions, make sure the opinions are coming from people who have actually done what you want to do. Don't get the opinions of every arsehole, because everyone's got one. Like, everyone will give you an opinion on what you should and shouldn't do, and part of it is their insecurity that you're doing something that they're not doing. So they want to give you advice and be like, put that out. But that'd be the biggest thing. Choose your advisors really wisely, because it can cost you a lot of money.
Good
but
advice.
It didn't set us back. It was a good learning experience, and that's why now my big thing is, helping others leverage off the mistakes I made, so they don't have to make those mistakes.
Speaking of mistakes, don't.
Sorry.
Table again. Bang. Cool. Well, I might jump in super quick and just do, because my business that I've started it's very much in its infancy. It's almost some ideas, but mine is a content creation media-esque type of business where I go out and shoot for businesses and create their content and create their imagery and
like this.
Yes,
like a podcast,
which is and not. I'm learning with this business that it's not just you point a camera and shoot it. There's many different varying ways to create content, whether it be podcasts, whether it be advertising, whether it be short videos and stuff like that. So I'm learning, but I'm very excited about what the future holds for me. I'm getting an opportunity to do things like this and shoot content for my friends' businesses and stuff like that while I'm still learning. So it's a great environment for me to make mistakes, but not detrimentally fuck over what I'm doing by making...
Just us.
Yeah.
Make mistakes on people who don't matter.
No. But yeah, so mine is a media creation company that will go by the name of Golden Child. I have now. Golden Child Creative. So, Golden Child Creative. Check me out in the future. Link in the description. But yeah, if you think that I can be part of your business or what you're trying to do, hit me up.
At Golden Child.
Golden Child. Golden.child.creative on Instagram so far.
Have you created it?
You created it?
I got it, baby.
Oh, you didn't tell us.
No,
We didn't.
I haven't put anything on there yet.
Alright.
I just got the name. So
Slow.
that's me. Now let's move down the end of the table for a very exciting time in a where we're sitting now is ground zero for what this man's vision and home base. But I'll let him tell you what it's about.
Yep. So the new business currently with my business partner right here, the Myth right here. So we're currently in the middle of opening our first gym, which is Find Away Fitness. If you can see that, that's us right here.
Just rapping.
Yeah. So we're in this together. Okay. I've been wanting to do this all my life. I've been a PT for about 6 years. I owned a franchise a few years back, and things didn't work out. And I started just contracting at other gyms, and I just got over it. And because I just get fucked over, people just use me for money, I guess. You know, so
You're very attractive. You bring people in, right? Not good looking. I mean, like you bring people in.
Yeah, so that happened.
Ugly.
I've been around the block a bit, but finally, thank fuck, we finally opened our first gym together. And
I'm in the background. I'm just like.
the background. I'm the face,
You're the
but
dude.
you know, without
Many hands.
without
make, like,
this
work.
big fella right here, it wouldn't have happened so quick right now. You know,
Yeah,
I feel like it would have happened.
It definitely
maybe
would have happened
next year or the
eventually,
year after. But yeah, look, I'm just grateful that it's happening right now because
Sometimes things just line up. Right?
yeah,
When they line up, you just go.
it's actually crazy how it started. It actually started in COVID, like right now. In COVID, I was actually not working, just at home, and then I started doing a few outdoor PTs, and ended up getting a few clients. Started off doing a 6-week challenge during COVID. Like no gyms were open at all, like literally nothing. So I thought, why not grab this opportunity and start helping people out? Because that is our job as PTs. We are here to help people get healthier, and no one was doing nothing about it. So I thought,
What a great time and opportunity to jump in there and light that fire under people's asses
It's
and
going
get
to be a
them.
different story to a lot of others. A lot of others are going to lose their business, and your story will be,
Yeah.
I created my business
like
in the fire.
Yeah, like people thought I was weirdo, crazy.
Still
Still
do.
Because no one was making money, no one was at work, everyone was at home locked down,
Yeah.
and people would
It
be
seems like an insane time to start
seems,
something,
yeah.
but it's always the insane people that make the big things, right?
Yeah, so opening our gym soon, our first gym here soon. Hopefully this COVID shit doesn't stop us. But yeah, so this is our
It
first
won't
gym
stop
together.
us,
Won't
it'll
stop
just,
us.
like,
We'll
pause
just
it.
pause it for a bit. But I'll just go back to square one, back at home where it all started, if that has to happen. But yeah, so it's currently going good. It's already getting good feedback. Really loving it, and it's the only gym in town that does what we do, which is weights-based training. It's not functional. It's based around weights. Okay, so that's the only gym in Newcastle that has it. So this is one of a kind, I guess. And hopefully you can get a few more whenever that happens, whenever that time comes. Yeah, but very excited and keen as. Yeah, so that's it. Find Away Fitness. Follow us on Instagram at Find Away Fitness and Facebook as well. And me as well, Mr. Find Away.
Absolutely. There's many ways on social media to get after this man.
You can put those little things in
Absolutely. Like this. Go.
There we go. Find Away Fitness right there.
I'll roll it outside us. Oh, all right. Well, listen, guys. We've talked about a lot of things. Is there anything else that you guys want to touch on for the first episode?
The only thing that I want to touch on is that we need topics to talk about.
Absolutely.
What are the topics that people want people to talk about? And we want to talk about the things that people don't talk about.
Real shit.
I was keen when the boys started talking about doing a podcast, keen to do something because I saw a podcast that's done sort of around Newcastle, and they were basically just talking about, or had the same opinions that every newspaper or TV show that you watch has. And I'm like, well, why do you need a podcast that spouts off the same information that everyone else is about? Just watch the news.
This is, and interesting you say that, because you listen to a lot of podcasts. Say we jump on Spotify, and then there's thousands of podcasts you can listen to, but they're all, or many of the ones are sort of PG rated, and it's regurgitation of what people want to hear, and it's basically hosted by pretty people that sometimes know nothing about what they're talking about. At least I think with this podcast, it's not going to be a shiny,
Nothing pretty about
overproduced.
this.
It's not going to be a podcast.
Say facts. Hashtag facts.
Well, yeah. Well, no. Sometimes it doesn't even have to be
Just
a
real.
fact.
Just
real
real,
shit.
yeah.
Like if
Says what comes to our mind.
it's not so much a formal podcast where we're going to sit down. It's a conversation that we would have between us
Together.
that we're just sharing with everybody else.
And happy to be wrong.
Yeah.
Happy to be wrong.
Happy to be wrong.
Spitball ideas
Yeah.
and maybe change our ideas or opinions as we go
And
along.
like, if it offends or people don't like it, anyway, don't fucking watch it.
And if it offends you,
Turn it
well,
off.
then that's the problem with you, dog.
Yeah. But
You can
thanks.
talk to Jai Latte on the sidelines, peeling oranges next week against
Exactly.
Guess who? The Blacks.
Oh.
No, Pickers. That's a different sport.
Yeah,
We're talking
our
Scots.
apologies. We did have our first guest lined up this week for the podcast. Unfortunately, he went on a little bit of a bender on the weekend. We
Went on
couldn't
bender.
get him in. So,
Couldn't
Jai Latte, we
Next time.
hope you're
Jai.
feeling
Next
better,
week.
brother.
Good luck this weekend, bro.
Yep, good luck
back
against.
to back again.
But yeah, so we need your ideas and
Jai
suggestions.
Latte.
We also want to chuck some. We want to chuck some guests in here. So people that are starting their businesses, or people that we think
Interesting
are
people.
interesting people. Doesn't have to be a business person. Like literally, if
There's
I
interesting people. I know an interesting man around the corner there that we should get on.
we'll save him for another
Well,
episode.
yeah, well,
We'll pitch
I
it.
won't talk about it now. I haven't even asked.
We'll pitch it. But oh yeah, so I'm not quite sure if we did this at the start, but did we divulge the name of what we were going to call it?
DISS.
The
Oh, we
DISS.
went on there.
Yeah, so if you were confused by that weird drumming that we were doing, the podcast is called The DISS. We are going to aim to do it on a weekly level. But yeah, we need suggestions. We want people that you want to see on here, and just what you want to talk
And
about.
it doesn't mean that we're going to diss people, ideas, or opinions unless we have to or want to.
Exactly.
Yes.
As we go.
We do. Hey, it's our show. We do what we want.
You know what? You want to do a podcast? Then do a podcast.
If you're a snowflake, don't watch it. Turn it off.
Oh, okay. Well, signing out from the first Evs.
Yeah, the boys.
Let's
Let's go. Yeah.